Good morning, Year 3. This is Mrs. Hepplewhite. It's Thursday, and I'm here to help you through your maths lesson for today. So, in your maths books, if you could please write down today's short date, 25.02.21, and write the title, which is Subtract Using Exchanging, and then write WILF. And if you finish all of that, then have a go at partitioning these two numbers here and writing it in your book. So, press pause and then press play when you are ready for the next bit. Okay, so hopefully you've written this out now into your maths book. Let's quickly have a look at our total recall. So partition, think about what that word partition means. It means splitting a number into parts, okay? So if we were to partition 427, we would end up with 420 and 7, because that is 427 split down into parts. And if we were to do the same with 389, we would partition it into 300 and 80, 80 and 9. Okay, so well done if you got those right. So we are doing subtraction today with exchanging. That is part of it today, and we're using the formal written method. So on Monday and Tuesday of this week, you would have had maths videos with Mrs. Nicholson, and she would have been doing formal method of addition with you. So today we're leaving addition behind, and we're moving on to subtraction. So if you're going for bronze today, you will be subtracting a 2-digit number from a 3-digit number with no exchanging, okay? But if you go on to silver, you're going to subtract a 2-digit number from a 3-digit number with exchanging. Gold, you're going to do that, but you will have multiple exchanges. So there won't just be one, there will be two, okay, which makes it slightly trickier. And then if you finish gold, you go on to challenge, which will be missing digit problems, but only go on to challenge afterwards. I need everybody to start on either bronze, silver, or gold today so that they've got this formal method in their book. So your learning powers today are making links with your learning about subtraction and place value, and planning, so how you're laying out your work in your book. That is key to getting your answers correct. And your vocabulary today is going to be exchange. We've got hundreds, tens, obviously they're both part of our place value, and the word subtract. So today we're going to recap the formal written method of subtraction and exchanging included in that. So what are the key things to remember when using the formal written method? Feel free to press pause here and press play when you've got some ideas. So I can tell you that the key things we need to remember are to do 1 digit per square in our books, because it just makes it so much neater, it makes it so much easier for you to read. Your lines need to be drawn with a ruler for the same sort of reason, that it looks neater, easier to read, easier to follow. Make sure you line up all your digits according to place value. So your ones digits needs to be under each other, your tens column digits need to be under each other, and your hundreds column digits need to be under each other. And to start adding or subtracting, which is what we're doing today, from the right, from the number that's furthest on the right, and we'll see that in a minute when we do it together. So I'm going to start off having a go through bronze. So this is without exchanging, this is just making sure we get used to the method and the correct layout. So we might do 45 take away 23, okay? Look at this layout here. Is this layout correct? Yes or no? Explain how you know. So press pause and have a little think, and then press play when you're ready for some answers. So I can tell you categorically that this is not a correct layout, okay? Unfortunately, I can't take answers from you, but I know lots of you will be saying that the lines aren't drawn straight, okay? The lines obviously haven't been drawn properly. They need to be. And the line isn't long enough at the bottom here, okay? This would be the correct layout if it will let me move my page down. Let's get rid of this. There we go, correct layout. So you can see now that I've got correctly drawn lines, so they're straight and on the line. All my digits are lined up properly. My subtraction symbol is in the right place. It's looking good. And it's so important because if we don't have our digits lined up properly, if it's untidy, we might end up getting the answer wrong, even if we can do the subtraction. So it's really important that we lay it out correctly. So let's have a look at this one here then, okay? Another incorrect layout. Why is this layout incorrect? Well, because we haven't got our numbers lined up properly, okay? The ones digit in 86 is the number 6. The ones digit in 12 is 2. They need to be lined up correctly. They need to be lined up together. Otherwise, it will not work, okay? So it's really important that we do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this one for you now. So one of our rules was also to always start with the number on the right, which is this one here. So we're going to do 6, take away 2, so 6, 5, 4. Let me pop my answer in. No, 1 second. Where's my... There we go. Let's use the pen. Why not? Let's go crazy. So 6 take away 2 is 4. So I'm going to pop that straight underneath. Then I go to here, 8 take away 1, which is 7. So my answer is 74. And I always do a quick little check as well, just to make sure that I've got them right. 6 take away 2, 8 take away 1. Perfect. Okay, so that is an example of bronze today. Correct layout and starting to subtract in the correct column. Now, if we move on to silver, this is where we're going to be exchanging. So we're going to recap that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this down so it's not so close. There we go. So I've got 630, well, why are the numbers different? Just ignore that. Let's go with this one. 635 take away 28, okay? So once again, layout's correct, excellent. I'm going to start in this column here because I always start with a number on the right, and I'm doing 5 take away 8. Now, quite often at this point we'll go, oh, I can't do that. Can't do 5 take away 8. We can do 5 take away 8, but it's going to take us below 0. It's going to take us into negative numbers, which is something that we don't want to be doing when we're doing our formal written methods, okay? So it's not quite correct to say we can't do it, but we just can't do it with this method. So what we have to do, because we cannot do 5 take away 8 without going into those negative numbers, we need to exchange from the column next to it. So I always say we knock on next door and we say, excuse me, 3, I need to exchange one of your 10s. So I'm going to cross through the 3. If I've got 3 or 30, which it is in this column, and I take a 10 away, 30 take away 10, I'm left with 20. So I'm going to leave 20 behind, okay? And what I'm going to do with the 10 that I've exchanged is I'm going to plonk it on here. So now I've got 15 take away 8 because I've exchanged a 10 from this column. So I'm going to do 15 take away 8. So I'm going to count back 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, really important that you make sure that your subtraction is correct. Now I'm going to go to this column, 2, take away 2. Well, if I've got 2 and I take 2 away, I'm left with 0. So that one's going to be a 0. And then to this column, I've got 6, take away nothing, which is going to be 6. So my answer is 607. Okay, let's have a go at another one to make sure that we're really, really confident with that. So 841, take away 37. Just going to double check I'm laid out correctly. Yes, I've got my straight lines, I've got my subtraction symbol in the right place, and they're all lined up in the correct columns. So as always, I'm going to start with a column on the right. So 1, take away 7. I cannot do that without going below 0, and I don't want to be doing that with my formal method. So what I need to do is I need to knock on next door. I say, excuse me, I need to exchange one of your 10s. So I'm going to cross out the 40 or the 4. I'm going to take 10 away from 40. Well, 40 take away 10, sorry, is 30. So that's going to become a 3 or 30. And the 10 that I've exchanged is going to be plonked on there. So I'm now left with 11 take away 7. Just a quick little tip here, instead of starting on 11 and counting all the way back 7 times, which will take you a bit longer, start on 7 and count to 11 and see how many there are. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4. Okay, that's a quick little mental math trick for you there. So 11 take away 7 is 4. Excellent. Now I'm going to go to this column here. 3 or 30 take away 3 or 30 equals 0. And this column here, 8 take away nothing is 8. So my answer is 804. Okay, another one of silver for us to have a go. I'm going to go through this one super quick. So I start in this column here, 4 take away 6. I cannot do without going into negative numbers. So I exchange from the 7, which becomes a 6, and I plonk the 10 I've exchanged onto here. 14 take away 6 is 8. 6 take away 3 is 3. And 2 take away nothing is 2. So my answer is 238. A quick one for you if you would like to practice the inverse operation, which we call basically the opposite. You can take your answer and you can add the number above, 36. And if you use your formal method of addition, you should end up with, I'm going to definitely do a straight line because I've been banging on at you all this morning about doing straight lines, so I can't not do one. If you add 8 add 6, 14. 3 add 3 is 6, add the 1 is 7, and 2 add nothing is 2, which is 274, which is the number you started with. So that's a really nice quick way of checking by using the inverse operation if your answer is correct. So feel free to do that today as well if you want a bit of an extra challenge. Now, moving on to gold. If you're really, really confident with exchanging and you think silver's going to be too easy for you, you need to start on gold today because this is where you will end up with a double exchange. Okay, so I've got my sum here, 342 take away 67. I start in this column, I do 2 take away 7. Can't do that without going below 0. So I exchange from here. The 4 becomes a 3, or 40 becomes 30, and that one goes on to there. 12 take away 7 is 5. 3 take away 6. Can't do that without going into negative numbers, so I have to exchange again. So I cross out the 3, which becomes a 2, and plonk my 10 that I have exchanged on there. Now I'm going to do 13 take away 6, which is 7. And then 2 take away nothing is 2. And my answer is 275. Okay, so you can see there how I've had to do 2 lots of exchanging. Let's have another practice at a double exchange. 225 take away 48. Start in this column here. 5 take away 8. Cannot do without going below 0, so I have to exchange. 2 becomes a 1, and the 10 goes on there. Again, instead of starting on 15 and counting back 8, you could always start on 8 and count back up. Either way, whichever way is quickest for you, but it is 7. 1 take away 4. Can't do that without going below 0, so that one gets exchanged, and I put the 10 on there. 11 take away 4 is 7. And 1 take away nothing is 1. Well done if you got those right, and well done if you are grasping the method now, which is really good. So like I said, if you're finding silver really easy, you need to start on gold today. Okay, super. So these are your questions, year 3. So in a moment, when I'm finished rabbling on, you are going to pause this video, and these are your questions for today, apart from challenge, which is a separate sheet you'll need to download from Teams. So your bronze questions are here. You need to use the formal written method to answer these questions. So setting it out using column subtraction, okay, that is how you are solving these questions today. No other method is acceptable today. Even if it's a good method, we need you to be using that column method to practice it. So bronze is here with no exchanging, silver's here with 1 exchange, gold has multiple exchanges, and if you finish gold, or if you finish any of these, check your answers with the sheet that's on Teams. There'll be an answer sheet, then have a go at the challenge questions. Don't forget to send a picture of your learning to your teacher so that we can check it over, and have fun. I'll speak to you soon. Good luck. Bye.